a case involving Atheist Republic is to be heard before the Supreme Court of India.
Do you have anything to share on the screen?
Yes, I can. Give me 3 seconds. So, for those who are not familiar, we have been taking on the BJP. So, let me get the right application window. Here we go. And I'll do this and make it nice and big. So, let's do a little, news and review. Okay. So, and then I'll give you what's happening now. So, back in October, we were made aware that a case was put before the Supreme Court of India that involves us. So, to clarify, like, we are not in any sort of necessary party, so to speak, to this. Like, we're not liable in any way. But this case directly says, provides Armin's tweets as evidence to the Supreme Court as to why they should put regulations on social media companies. Wow. Specifically, they want to hold Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, etc. directly responsible for spreading, quote unquote, hate and fake news. So this is a public interest litigation, or PIL. I already know I'm going to say PLI because I'm dyslexic. So just a quick refresh. A petition has been filed, and again, this is in the end of October. So a petition has been filed in the Supreme Court seeking directions to make laws to regulate social media platforms and to hold Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and Instagram directly responsible for spreading hate speeches and fake news. The public interest litigation, or PIL, filed by our favorite Vineet Jindal through advocate Raj Kishore Chowdhury earlier this week, sought directions to the center to frame laws for criminal prosecution of persons involved with spreading hate and fake news through social media. So they're asking, so this is now going to bring criminal offenses against people. It requested the top court to direct the central government to establish a mechanism for automatic removal of hate speeches and fake news within a short time frame so that the counterproduction of such hate speeches or fake news can be minimized. The PIL further prayed that the government is directed to appoint an expert investigating officer in each case registered for spreading hate and fake news through social media platforms. So, just a government official somewhere deciding what you're allowed to talk about on social media, these supposedly private companies. Quote, a registered account is sufficient to start a channel, which provides a platform for uploading videos in the social media such as Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc., which means that anyone can float anything in the social media. There is no restriction or censor for their contents, and there is no regulations at all by the government, the plea said. The petitioner said that the plea was... Wait, where I lost my place. The plea was filed in the wake of 2 tweets by the name of one Armin Navabi on his Twitter handle.
Hey, that's me.
Against Hindu goddesses and using derogatory terms. Guys, a reminder is that derogatory term is sexy. That's hate speech, you guys. Calling goddess Kali sexy is hate speech, okay? And we need government officials to sit somewhere and decide exactly how derogatory that is and possibly, put criminal proceedings, on people because of that. It's not like they already use, 295A for the same purposes anyways. Sorry, I could go.
But what's interesting, though, is a lot of people in the United States and other countries are talking about this same issue because they perceive something else as being hate speech or hurtful, and that these private companies should somehow be responsible for this. And so in some of the instances, they may actually be talking about real physical harm. And some of them, they may actually just be talking about someone's offended feelings. But that's why these kind of laws are so dangerous, because when you start deciding what people can and can't say, so then you have to appoint someone who's the arbiter of that. Well, who appoints the appointer, and then where's the line about what's hate speech and what's not, or what's derogatory and what's not? It's opinion, right? And is that line fixed, or is it mutable, right? And if it's mutable, then how do you determine who's the decider of when you cross the line and how far you can push the line? And it just becomes more and more and more and more of a slippery slope. That's why it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because the people in charge today of deciding what's acceptable speech may not be the same people tomorrow either. So you're condemning your whole citizenry and potentially their children and their children's children to a fascistic system of arbitrary authority.
I think we did a whole episode, a stream a couple months ago where between me and Armin, where our legal counsel provided an entire breakdown of this case. Do you remember that? And specifically the penal codes and like why they
Okay. Yeah, but this article that you're sharing though is the old one. What's
Yes.
the up? Why is this now back on the news?
So okay. So here's the deal though. So we were talking to our legal counsel about this, and we're like, okay, so this was filed in October, like what's the next step? And our legal counsel was saying, well, you know, the court has to decide if they want to hear it, but it's likely that it'll actually just languish in the court system, or if it is heard, it'll likely be in the form of kind of conglomerating it with other cases that are involving similar things regarding social media and etc. Well, actually, we found out that they have issued notice. The Supreme Court has issued notice. What does this mean? This means that the Supreme Court has decided that they're going to talk about this. The Supreme Court has decided that they are going to talk about our content. The Supreme Court is going to talk about Sexy Kali, you guys. In the context of should social media companies be regulated or potentially have government officials who monitor.
So you're telling me that we brought Sexy Kali to the Supreme Court of India?
I think that you've arrived with that.
Yes, we actually have managed to make the Supreme Court of India this. By the way, let's actually show people when we say Sexy Kali. This is what we're talking about. Okay, this is where this Sexy Kali is where all of this butthurt started. Okay, I just want to.
You're welcome, India.
Yeah, first of all, you shouldn't be taking us to the Supreme Court. You should be thanking us. Like we were expecting, like gift baskets and thank you so much for.
I wanted a garland of marigolds.
For appreciating our culture and adding your own spin to it and improving it, some would say. I don't know who. I would say that. Improving the Indian culture, like and just being grateful, just being like, can you please do this to all our goddesses and gods and goddesses? Like, thank you so much, Susie. Thank you so much, Armin. Thank you so much, the artists of Atheist Republic and everybody. You know, like no. Instead, they take us to the Supreme Court, and I also want to be clear. That the you know how some people say like, oh, the left is cancel culture, like they complain about censorship and cancel culture. And we do that as well, right? But this is a good reminder for everybody to recognize when it comes to cancel culture, when it comes to censorship, nothing competes with right-wing censorship and cancel culture. Okay, nothing like when it comes to people in the West, for example, the left wing, saying like, oh, this speech is not, this is hate speech, that is hate speech. They have never even managed to get close to bringing this level of butthurt, this level of crying over calling your God sexy, to like at least when it comes to the left wing, like, oh, this is racism, this is like this is that, this is transphobia. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but it's like it comes from a legitimate concern. This is a bad, don't call our God sexy. And they took this seriously enough not to just file it with the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court like, yes, this is serious enough. We will hear this. Like the fact that the Supreme Court of India actually considered this something that is worthy of their time shows the level of butthurt, like, again, I'm telling you, when right wing is in power, the censorship that you experience with is on a much higher level than left wing.
Oh, yeah.
Historically, that has been true, and now you could see in India this is also true. Okay, so, and again, if they get even more control, the censorship is going to be, and again, the censorship that we experience from the left is like, oh, you're going to get deplatformed from Facebook, YouTube, you're not going to get invited to this university, blah blah blah.
You lose your job.
We lose your job. We're talking government here, okay? We're talking the Supreme effing Court of India here, okay? This is not even comparable. And again, this is affecting, these laws and these values and these regulations affects a higher number of people. We're talking about the world's largest political party. If you're an anti-right-wing activist, if you're a pro-secular activist, if you're a pro-free speech activists, if you're not paying attention to the BJP, to the world's largest political party on this planet, is a far right party that is influencing, that is having an impact on more people's lives than anything coming from, well, I mean, maybe China is comparable, but most other, like, if you're like seeing something happening in Europe or this country or that country or in Canada, and you're paying more attention to that as a global activist than what's happening in India, then you're not doing humanism right, okay? Unless you're focused on some certain countries. But if you consider yourself a global activist, India and the BJP right now, this is the greatest. The BJP is the greatest threat to secularism. It's the greatest threat to free speech, and more people are going to be impacted by this. And we're going to bring Sexy Cali to war. Sexy Cali is going to lead this war. We're going to try to bring the fact that this is you're so sensitive about this, that the little Atheist Republic has managed to find this sensitive spot that you guys get so triggered by, means that we could, like, this is asymmetrical warfare. That means that going against the greatest political party on the planet, we found this your weakness, and we're going to use this as a way to promote secularism, promote free speech, embarrass the BJP, embarrass the far right in India, and embarrass ethno-nationalism in India, and also, while we're at it, promote sex positivity. You guys are, it's funny how a lot of Hindus come out like, this is your Abrahamic mindset, but they don't understand that if they knew their own history at all, is that Hinduism wasn't this sex negative at all. It is the very Hindus that keep telling us that we have an Abrahamic mindset. They don't know that they have been influenced by Christianity and Islam, and that's why they're so sex negative, that they can't even handle one of their gods being called sexy, okay? Their Abrahamic mindset is affecting them, while they call us out for apparently our Abrahamic mindset. Anyways, Rivka.
One of the things I've noticed too in a lot of the criticism of this is also the fact that it's coming from outside India and that it's a modern interpretation. Because when I've had discussions with people about all the sexual content in so much historical Indian representation of gods and goddesses, the actual coitus and sexual acts carved on temples, the pictures of Kali also nude, showing, body parts, all kinds of phallic and yoni art. All of it is older. And I've noticed that for some reason they hold that as sacrosanct, and that's okay. But this, because it's a modern outsiders, and I think that's very important, interpretation of their goddess, then it becomes wrong, sinful, derogatory. And so to me, that shows a real sense of tribalism and a real sort of inability to see your society evolving into the future. That it's this mindset that what was in the past is good and okay as long as it was done in the past by us.
Well, there's one more thing, though. It's not that it's just any outsider. It's that it's an outsider that was a Muslim, too.
Ooh, yes, they hate that.
Right.
I have experienced anti-Muslim bigotry because of Sexy Kali. Straight up.
Because they get accused of being a Muslim because they don't like you.
Yes,
right.
Either because I'm associated with Armin, or they cannot comprehend that anyone who has anything that they perceive to be negative about their tradition or their attitude or their ideologies, they cannot comprehend that it could be anything except a Muslim who would say such things.
Right. Just another example of the tribalism, the in-group, out-group, good people, bad people. So yeah, I find it really interesting that, someone said they didn't like it because they thought it was, the male gaze. And I remember saying, well, what's the difference between that and this other art? And it came down to the outsiders' interpretation.
Yeah, you mentioned that. It's my turn now. So this also shows the level of hypocrisy, okay? Because these are the same people who celebrate the fact that Hinduism affects other countries. Like every time people from outside of India are influenced in any way by either Indian people, or by Hinduism, or by anything India related, they highlight that. They see that as a reason for celebration. They see that as a reason for like bragging rights, right? But they don't accept that the other way around. So they're a bunch of hypocrites. Also, but Susie said regards to anything they don't like apparently is Muslim. They say that I'm not an ex-Muslim, I'm still a Muslim. They say once a Muslim, always a Muslim. They say this is Islam is in your blood. Apparently, they say that. They can't comprehend that I criticize their views or be against Hinduism unless I'm a Muslim. And this is another reason why Rihanna recently is now, the conspiracy is being spread around that she's a Muslim.
No, it's not Rihanna. It's Rihanna. Sheikh Rihanna.
Amazing.
Something like I don't know. Like, oh my god.
Okay.
If you
wait, this is great. Alif, who's is also an ex-Muslim. Now that he knows that Islam is in your blood, he's saying, "Could I get a transfusion?" He's trying to get rid of his Islam. That's perfect. That's beautiful. That's amazing.
But guys, if you like this Sexy Kali, you can get it on a shirt. So check out our shop. We even have Kali making out with Sita. So we have that on a shirt. That's why I wore this shirt today.
Can you show how do we do this?
Bring me back. I need
there.
No.
Oh wait. We did it at the same time. Here. There we go. This is Kali and Sita.
Yes. And if you like our bring me back normally. If you are into that, you can also see this is expanded into an entire project. Thank you to the Hindutva. So if you're interested in that, you can see how we have made an entire universe out of
Of
blasphemous
our
art.
blasphemous art, yes.
Yes,
So
so-
now, because of Hindutva, we have like decided to make blasphemous art and continuous Atheist Republic project, and we're going after every religion,
Yes. So
every sacred cow, not just
go
religion.
to blasphemousart.com and you can see, oh, here's our latest Kali one that we called the Popsicle Shiva Lingam.
That's yeah, but go back to that one for people. That's again, all of this is on blasphemous.art.com. Go check it out. Go back.
If you are into this, but you're like, maybe I don't want it so sexy. I mean, because like I get it, sometimes you're like, woof. No, go sign up to our newsletter and you get an entire booklet of all our blasphemous art for free. So go check this out, you guys.
Can you now go back to the Shiva Lingam one, the popsicle one? Oh, you're not gonna share your screen.
Wait just a sec.
Yeah, this one, by the way, for people who don't know, that's the Shiva Lingam. That's Kali and Lakshmi licking the Shiva Lingam, which is supposed to be Shiva's genitals. We did get a
We're gonna say noise.
we did get a super chat, so we need to read this
one. Varun is saying, thank you for the $5, Varun. Saying,
sorry.
Most of these Hindutva people relish criticism of Islam, but they lose appetite when you talk about Hinduism, which you can see demonstrated beautifully when you talk about Macron and Charlie Hebdo. Because I literally saw the same people who had a Macron photoshopped to look like a Brahmin, okay, in saffron and everything. In my replies abusing me over this stuff because of their goddesses. So like they can't even, it's just anti-Muslim bigotry. Like they're not even supporting it because they're into free speech. They like it because they think this is their way of like sticking it to Muslims. And it's ridiculous. So yes, we need real free speech in India. We're bringing it to them. We are also going to be working with the Internet Freedom Foundation of India.
Yeah, and also I just wanted this comment by Varun is saying most of these Hindutva people relish criticism of Islam, but they lose appetite when you talk about Hinduism. That's actually how it all started. The reason why we first make Sexy Kali is because I desecrated the Quran. And what was that website? OP India decided to cover it and celebrate it because they were just loving the fact that an ex-Muslim was desecrating the Quran, and all of a sudden I saw a spike in our Hindutva following, and I just want to make it clear to these Hindutva people what we're here about, because they're
I think it was Abdullah Samir who was like, guys,
oh yeah. And no, Abdullah Samir brought it to our attention that we're like a lot of Hindutva supporting us. We're like, okay. Like, just like I blaspheme against Islam, but let's be clear. We also here at Atheist Republic, we blaspheme against Hinduism.
We take your sacred cows and we turn them into burgers.
Yes, sacred cows make
beef. Yummy.
Yes, yeah. So so that's why we started posting Sexy Kali, and OP India regretted the fact that they celebrated my desecration of the Quran, and that's how all of this started. Anyways, cool. Again, thank you so much for the super chat. So anything else we want to say before we go? No?
No, you have a meeting you got to get to, so.
Okay, but I have a little bit of time. Rivka?
No, I just wanted to say that I think that it's a great campaign and everybody should join it because blasphemy isn't a crime. And they've elevated this now. They're using resources in the country of India that could be dedicated to preventing all of the actual crime that's happening, particularly against women in the country, but instead they're focusing on a picture that they're butthurt about.
Yes. So good news for Hindus. No. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, good news for Hindus. We're gonna bring you more sexy Kelly, and if you knew what was good for you, you would be thanking us. So good news for Hindus. Ghost Bunny gave us a $2 super sticker, which is the thing that I don't understand yet. It apparently has a name. That fucks thing.
A Shiba Inu. It's a dog. It's a Japanese dog.
Okay, it's a Japanese dog. Fine. Thank you so much, Ghost Bunny, for the super chat. And yeah, all right, cool. We're gonna end this here. And guys, again, like Susanna said, make sure you get our blasphemous art. If you subscribe to our newsletter, you get the non-nude version of it, the safe for work. It's still very sexy.
No bobs and vagine.
No bobs and vagine, just sexiness. Sexiness without the nudity. Free to our newsletter subscribers. Link in the description. Our patrons get the 18 plus nude version, so you're welcome. Yeah, link to that in the description. Check it out.
So we're bringing bobs and vagine to them.
Yes, we heard their call.
They wanted bobs and vagine. Here it is.
You got it. One man, he
he
betrayed the Indian army. He was selling state secrets to the ISI to Pakistan for some nudes and a long conversation. So we're doing you guys a favor. We are helping the national security.
Exactly.
Okay. And the music guy is saying, and you deliver.
Yes, that's what we do. That's what we do. All right. And also subscribe to our newsletter, because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy. Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like, I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.